Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this series is called I Want to Be a Better Coach. And it's been coming to my attention just because that, people are people. And I'll start out by saying we're all spiritual beings in this human suit, and we've all come here to experience ourselves not only just as human beings, but in the spiritual evolution of ourselves. And I was spending some time with some friends down in Arizona, and I was hanging out with some pretty rich people, lots of wealth. And I realized they're just people. They're people with baggage. They're people with their happiness and their unhappiness. They're people who are trying to prove or improve or impress or just stuff, always stuff. They have fears. People with money have fears, just like people who don't have money have fears. And so it just took me to another level of realizing we're all people and we can judge each other for that because we do. But it's something to consider. Excuse me. So part of what I realized too is that so many coaches in the world, and coaches are just people, people with stuff. Just like people who are therapists or psychologists or psychiatrists, people are supposed to be the the people that can help other people. We got stuff. We all have stuff. And nobody is without stuff. So it's like, okay, what's your point, Rosie? My point is that we have stuff. And if we know that, then how we be in our profession, how we be in our lives, we can become more, that's not what I want to say. We can be aware of that and begin to choose how we want to be in our lives. So I was speaking with some people who are coaches, and I was hearing a level of wisdom, if you will, that did not allow a greater sense of expansion for them or their clients. And they were kind of caught in that fear-based, lack-based, what do I do? I don't know how to coach that, or they're doing this, and here's the only tools I have. And it's this place of being locked in, if you will, to a frame of reference as a coach that works to the degree that it works. And what is it that you're wanting to bring to the world by being a coach? Now, you might be a bartender, you might be a physician, you might be a teacher, a parent, you might be the garbage picker-upper person, you might be the janitor at the business corporation. But we all have a place where we want to contribute in some way. And and we all have this capacity, and we're all coaches. We are all coaches because of who we are and how we bring ourselves to the world. That is a way that we influence positively or negatively. So my first point here is just to say that coaches are people. And, part of the stigma that I hear out there is that coaches haven't done any training on themselves. And that I think to a large degree it's true that lots of coaches don't do training on themselves. They don't do the inner work that would support them in having what they say they want. And I found this true. Uh, I did an hour webinar, and the link is below. It's called 10 Essential Truths. 10 Essential Truths to Becoming a Transformational Coach, or 10 Essential Truths of Being a Transformational Coach. Anyway, people who watched that, they kind of went, oh my God, I don't want to do that work. I don't want to work that hard to be effective. I've got clients, but I don't want to do the work personally. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. And what is it that we're wanting to bring to the world through this practice of coaching? That's just the big question. And every single one of us has an answer for ourselves. Part of my intention is I want you to want to grow yourself so that you can be a greater influence in the world, so that you can bring a greater sense of expansion to who you are and then to your clients. But you have to do it first, if you will. Uh, we all have to do it first. It's not like you do it first and I'll do it next. We're all having to do it at the same time. One of the things I want to mention is that a lot of people go into coaching because they want to make money. They hear they can make big figures, six figures or whatever, and they want to make money. And and so they become a coach and they kind of, this is true for me. I expected people would just show up because, hey, I'm a coach and I was a therapist. Before that, I was a spiritual guide. So I've got all this information, got a good network of people. I'll just let people know I'm going to be a coach and they'll flock. And it's like, that's not what happened. I had enough clients and that's a great thing and all, but I didn't get the clients that I wanted. And there was frustration and disappointment and what am I doing wrong? And that leads most people into I got to market myself. I got to be louder. I got to put myself into the world, social media. and and I have to market myself. And so then we start to go down the road and invest our money and our time and our energy in creating a website and focusing our marketing on audience and who's my audience and what's my elevator speech, all that stuff that we are trained to do. This is what you need to do to open your business. So we're told. And you may have heard me say this before, you've got to start with practicing being a coach and being effective as a coach. And part of that being effective as a coach is you are present within yourself and confident and feel the trust and knowing within yourself that when you're sitting with an individual, you're bringing your best self, your fullest self to the seat. This is really difficult for people. And I've heard this more often lately with the people I'm training. And I also have a group of coaches that meet once every other week-ish that we talk about what's it like being a coach and what's required of them in a sense to bring their more expanded listening, if you will, to the conversation with their clients. And they go, wow, this is much harder than I thought it was going to be. And I go, yes. And what is it you're wanting through this practice? I talk about, life is a spiritual journey, and every element of our life is a spiritual path. In a sense, our career path is a spiritual path, our relationship paths, our financial paths, our health paths. These are all paths on the spiritual journey. And we all have learning that can happen and growth opportunities. Some people learn through wealth. Some people learn through poverty. Some people learn through the combination of all of that. We all have our paths to learn from, and including coaches. And sometimes therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, coaches, ministers, priests, they say, oh, we got it handled. We got the training. We know what we're doing. And it's like, okay. And in a sense, how's that working for you? Are you experiencing the level of fulfillment that you're looking for with those conversations, with financial, those, just all of it? Are you experiencing the fulfillment that you want? And if not, what do you want to do about that? In a sense, do you want to do anything about that? And most people go, talk to the hand, Rosie. I don't want to do any of that personal work because it's too scary and it's down the rabbit hole and I'm not ready. So again, most people in service, most people in the world, let's put it that way, 99% of us have our stuff. And so how we show up is like, this is as good as it gets. I'm not doing any more personal work. Don't make me do it. Like, okay. Ah. My my Alexa just went off and gave me a reminder, but it just kind of I was in the moment and this voice came from behind me that said my name and it kind of freaked me out for a second. So that's a dilemma for every single one of us is I want the growth, I want the financial prosperity, I want that fulfillment, I want to make a difference with people, and I don't want to do the personal work. Don't make me do the personal work. And that's a dilemma. And that's okay. I get it. And we can begin to see, and we watch this with our clients. Our clients are great mirrors for what shows up in us. And our clients are going, I want more prosperity. I want more abundance. I want better relationships. I want more health. And I don't make me do any scary stuff. Don't make me touch my emotions. Don't make me practice something that I don't want to do. So our clients are great reflections for who we are as coaches and what we don't want to do personally, or what we haven't done, or what we've done, but maybe there's more to be done. So it's just a question, and it's just a dilemma. I want this, and I don't want to do this. It's what I call a conflicting commitment. We're committed to being prosperous and being effective and being successful as coaches, and we're committed to not doing the work. We're committed to staying outside, but or inside our comfort zone. And this is the dilemma that shows up for you as a coach with every single one of your clients. They want that expansion to more prosperity and abundance in all ways of their life. And they're committed to saying no to the hand. Nope, not doing it. And that's the struggle that we all have with these dilemmas and moving people, or helping people, or sitting with people, being present with yes, no. And that creates that dilemma. And the more that we can be with that, no judgments, no trying to fix it, no trying to heal it, no trying to compromise it, just saying, yep, totally get it. I totally get it. I know that place of, I want more money and prosperity and abundance, and don't want to do the work. And so what shows up? What's the circumstances that show up because of this dilemma? So that's the question I want each of us to sit with, in terms of saying, what is it I really want as a coach? And again, a lot of people, it makes me laugh, but it's true. People will throw money at Google ads, or they'll throw money at marketing, but they won't, in a sense, throw money at their personal work that's required for them to grow their business, to grow their capacity to coach. It's fascinating. I watch this with people who have money and they throw their money at stuff, but they don't use their money for their well-being in terms of health and well-being. It's like, wow, aren't we fascinating? Aren't we fascinating? So those are just some things to think about. The last thing I want to bring in is the sense of, here's how I was trained to be a coach. And I trust that the training I was given is the training I need. I don't need any more. And so I'm just going to use the tools and the techniques and the skills that I was given, and I'm going to keep doing that. And what happens quite often is your clients will come in with the same, with a particular challenge or circumstance, and and I've done this myself, so I'm just speaking from my own direct experience, those places where I don't know what to do, I'll use the tools I've got. In a sense, I've got this screwdriver. It looks like we need a wrench, but I don't have a wrench. I just have a screwdriver. I don't know how to use a wrench. So I'm going to use a screwdriver and see if I can do what I need to do to get people to move, in a sense, get my clients to where they want to go. And again, this is that place where I don't trust that I have the tools to support and empower my clients, to support and empower themselves. I don't have the tools. And so I will use the tools I have, because I'm too afraid to perhaps admit that I don't have those tools, to perhaps admit that I don't know where to get those tools. I don't know how to get the tools in a way that's affordable and makes sense given my circumstances in life. And that's one of the benefits of YouTube, is that you can find all the tools you actually need on YouTube. And, part of this series, I've got over 300 videos here on YouTube on all different topics. But this particular one, I want to be a better coach, is really about what are the tools that I'm needing that I don't have, or what are the tools that I'm ignoring and avoiding and distracting myself from. And the foundation of your effectiveness as a coach is you, not the tools, not the skills, not the training, but you, your essential nature, your heart. This is what draws you, I'm making that assumption, draws you to want to do this work as a life coach. And the more that you can trust and respect and honor this, the more you could sit with your clients from a place of true, authentic listening, true, authentic presence without the need to say, well, what tool am I going to need this tool? Am I going to need this tool? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to, what am I supposed to? All that, what am I supposed to is what gets us out of the moment and gets us out of the presence to say, I'm just listening to my client. And what I'm listening for is their knowing, because as you heard me say, my job is to let my clients know and let you know, I know that you know. My job is to let you know, I know that you know. So I listen for that knowing, and I listen for how that knowing is brought into the reality of world. How are you living in your knowing? And how are you avoiding listening to your knowing? How are you not in alignment with that truth, that knowing that you have? And those are just conversations. I'm not trying to fix my client. I'm not trying to improve them. I'm just having a conversation with them in such a way that they're able to listen and hear themselves. I'm a thinking partner or a listening partner. And in that learning how to listen, that's all that's required, I think, deep listening and the ability to say, hey, here's what I'm hearing, here's what I'm seeing in a positive way, in a way that it reframes the challenges and the dynamics and the conflicts into, wow, isn't this fascinating? You've created this so that you can get the learning here, or you can grow yourself in certain ways. So for me, the more I can let go of my stuff, the more I'm more present with my client. And I'm this level of presence and being, which just allows my client to hear and see themselves and get themselves in such a way that go, wow, I do want to make a difference. I do want to shift this. I am this way and I'm not comfortable being this way. I really want more of this. And they're able to articulate that for themselves. And that's the whole point of coaching, is that they're able to, we make room and space for people to articulate themselves in a more effective way. I have a new client, I'll call her Sally. And in my listening of Sally, I came in, we've only had a couple of sessions. I came in with some attitude. It's like, oh, here's, and just whatever my attitude is, A, B, C. And, she should FYJ. And so I have these stuff, just like everybody else. It's like, I'm in this listening for where she's doing this. But when I put that aside and I started asking questions that brought about more awareness, what got revealed in just being in conversation with her, what got revealed was the complexity of the situation that she had created for herself. Not wrong, not bad, not needing to be fixed. Just, wow, fascinating that this is the circumstance that you've created for yourself. And it's not a matter of we'll just do this, we'll problem solve this, because there's these complex systems that are in place that aren't going to allow us just to fix it, because here's these other contributing factors. It's fascinating. And this level of listening for me brings the coaching conversation, the coaching relationship to a much deeper and more enriching experience for me. And I can see and experience that my clients is like really enriching for them too. And that's what we want. We want them to have that enriched conversation. I want to have that enriched experience with my clients. So with Sally, rather than my ABC judging and my I was able to go, wow, look what you created, this complex orchestra, if you will, of experiences and dynamics that are influencing how you be you here. And what I appreciated was she didn't feel judged. She felt heard and acknowledged in that. And when people feel heard and acknowledged, seen, heard, and gotten, acknowledged, they feel they can trust what's going on. They can trust themselves They can start to respect the situation, respect themselves. And this is what we want for our clients. We want them to be able to empower themselves to go, wow, I get this. I see myself. I see how I've created this. I see the unfolding of me in this. And it's very rich. My job was to get out of my way, get off, let go of my judgments or my assumptions or my expectations of Sally or what I imagined of Sally and just go back to the she knows. She is this light of being, this being of light. And she's here to learn and grow and expand her sense of self in the fulfillment of her human spirit. And so I can get in the way of that by saying, Sally, or I could go, wow, get out of the way, Rosie. Get out of the way and just listen. So that's what I'm offering for you is, in a sense, a listening to what's going on for you. And that's why I created this playlist, this series. I want to be a better coach because I know you have challenges, just like every single one of us on the planet, regardless of whether you're a coach or a 12-step sponsor, a beautician. You're working with people and you have a heart desire to have a conversation and meet them and grow yourself and grow them through that. And I want to be a support for that. Down below, if you have comments or obviously comments below, but in the descriptions, there's a link to a form where you can, if you have particular challenges and you want to ask me questions about that, I'm really happy to support you. That's what this playlist is about, is to support you and empower you. I also, like I mentioned, I have a group coaching group where we as coaches talk about what dilemmas show up and challenges that show up and what part do we play in having those challenges show up. And it's safe, I'll say it that way, because it's like, oh, it's not safe to be me. I don't want to know. It's like, well, okay. And again, that dilemma is I want a fulfilling practice and make money at my career. And in order to do that, to grow my business, I have to grow myself. I have no doubt. And I continue to do that. I continue to grow me. And as I grow me, my business shifts and changes and gets more fulfilling financially in every other way. That's what I want for you. All right. If this was valuable, thumbs up. That would be great. Please share this with other people you might know that could find value in this video. And I send you blessings and big hugs on this journey. All right. Bye for now.